Welcome back to the SkyWalker commentary, my people. You are welcome to join the debate. I cherish your indulgence here. We have a serious point to make today. We, as Jamaicans, not PNP and not JLP, but as Jamaicans, must fight for our freedom. Mark Golding, the British man, thinks he's got us stranded, but we got it. Yes, he believes he has us stranded, but we got it. Let the record show Jamaica is not a colony, not spiritually, not culturally, not cosmically, but structurally, we still bow to a British constitution, to a foreign throne, to a paper that was never uttered by the people. And now, the usual detractors, including the commentators, they bow to one British man, and now they want us all to do so. Oh, yes, people, but this man gridlocks our forward movement. That's what he's there to do. We as a people, not as JLP and not as PNP, but as Jamaicans, must protect our sovereign nation. And now in 2025, we are being asked to reenact the same ceremony, to pretend that reform is revolution, to believe that Mark Golding, the man who gatekeeps the process, is somehow the key to our freedom. We are asking the slave master to lead the slaves to freedom. And the Judases among us have all the excuses. They are like common old harlots selling out for funky bells and ballet. Well, I don't even know what all of it means, but I know what it sounds like. And an old lady used to say that about those that prostitute themselves and their families and nations all day. Yeah, prostituting for funky bells and ballets. And we see these prostituting bodies from grassroots to media, but the elites prostitute even more, just like the wickedness that goes on in Nigeria, like Rutoism in Jamaica. And one leader who thinks otherwise, all of a sudden will be framed for 28 bank accounts that we proved he never had. But he is framed by a white British man with odd 60 odd bank accounts and $1 million home hiding behind the hedge that he doesn't have to declare to the sold out defense line because he is a British man. Think about it. Why are we prostituting ourselves and our nation? They make the British man Norman a hero for tying us up with an adverse constitution. That's why Norman Manley is a hero. They made Nanny a hero for being the slave catcher. And it's not about just Paul Bogle, but all the real Maroons were genocided in Nova Scotia, Canada, with the help of the fake Judas Maroons, who today are called the heroes. That's why they are heroes. We need to fix a lot of things in our history. They made Michael Manley the hero who stigmatized our politics by molding in terrorism into party politics. Yes, he molded terrorism to party politics by giving the gangs a role. So that terror would be automatic perpetually. No one will pretend to be smart enough to see the games play in Jamaica that plays against us all over the world, including Mark Golding's move to assist with FinSac that mirrors the wiping out of Black Wall Street in America. We say it's just a perpetual string of coincidences, but the same things happen to all of us everywhere in the world. And we see and don't see, and we see and say it's a coincidence, and we see and say that's not what it means. That's what they tell us to believe, and we believe. They tried to destroy the name of Marcus Garvey because he was the real hero, and many of those who were true heroes, like Taki, who begged Nani not to go a whoring, were cast to the wayside because they were the real heroes. But not only do we have to protect from the present threats, but we have to protect against the history of lies that they cast behind us. We need to go back and separate the truths and pick up our true heroes from the death valleys of the past. Let me be clear. Mark Golding is not the voice of the people. He is the voice of delay, the voice of imperial legacy, the voice of a man who must make a decision between his inherited enemies and his inherited legacy, subjugating the people he now claims to be serving. But if he doesn't subjugate, he loses much of his privileges. So what do you think he is going to do? Not gridlock constitution reform, the harlots, but they don't care. Mark Golding has no choice but to be the voice of containment. What's his choice? The voice of empire dressed in local accent, although he destroyed the words in patois, from blood clot to I man, just by saying them. I man, I and I man. The constitution is not the citizens. Jamaica's constitution was written in London, not in Tivoli, not in Trenchtown, not in Mobay. It was drafted by colonial architects, foreigners, signed by foreigners, my people. And this is something we have to think about. It was drafted by colonial architects and signed by foreign hands, and it was handed to us like a lease agreement. And for decades, we have treated it like scripture. We have bowed to its clauses. Yes, we have bowed to its clauses. We have feared its language. We have allowed it to override our rhythm. But the truth is simple. The Constitution is not the citizens. It is not the voice of the market woman. It is not the cry of the farmer. It is not the chant of the youth. The real Constitution is unwritten. It lives in the people. It moves with spirit. It speaks in patois, not parliamentary jargon. The voice of the people is the voice of God. When the people speak, it's not just democracy, it's divinity, it's ancestral rhythm, it is cosmic recall. And when the people say we want sovereignty, that's not a request, that's a ritual declaration. Only an imperialist will not get it. Mark Golding can't override that, but he can't get it. The Privy Council can't delay that. The British consultant who buried the maid can't rewrite that because the voice of the people is the voice of God. And no constitution, British or otherwise, can silence it. Mark Golding's behavior is not negotiation, it's sabotage. Let's name it properly. Mark Golding is not negotiating, he is gatekeeping. He says CCJ are nothing, but that was not for him to decide in the first place. He insults every descendant of slaves in Jamaica, but the harlots can't see. He refuses to meet with the Minister of Justice. He demands direct talks with the Prime Minister, but only on his terms. I don't want my people to bow before him, so no one should ever talk to the British man. We are not his subjects over here. That's not leadership, that's containment theater, and we are done with slavery a long time ago. We are done with slavery. So why are we prostituting ourselves and being like Mark Golding slave over here? Huh? Why are we allowing Marcus Garvey to be a buckmaster over here? Hmm? Eh? He wants to delay the referendum. He wants to keep the monarchy in place. He wants to preserve the colonial scaffolding while pretending to dismantle it. And when the people call for clarity, he responds with confusion. When the people demand sovereignty, he offers ceremony. This is not just political sabotage, it's spiritual breach. It's like a hate movement against the people. We don't need Mark Golding's permission to be free. Let me say it loud. We don't need Mark Golding's permission to be free. People, we don't need his signature. We don't need his approval. We don't need his Oxford accent. We need referendum. We need clarity. We need the people's voice. Because Jamaica's independence is not a negotiation, it's a declaration. He should stop disrespecting its weight. And if the opposition refuses to cooperate, then the people must override the gridlock. The part before, or let's say the part to go forward, referendum, not reenactment. To hell with colonial rule. The only true path to sovereignty is referendum. It not committee, not consultant, not constitutional, what you want to call it, not constitutional cosplay. Let the people vote, let the people speak, let the people decide. Hmm? Because if we wait on Mark Golding, we'll be stuck in a ceremony forever. We'll be reenacting independence like it's a school play. We'll be bowing to a tune that doesn't even know our names, but we would need a visa to get there. Message to Brogard, don't bow to buffoonery. Andrew Holness, this part is for you. You have been patient, you have been polite. You even extend olive branch to a man who think olive oil is for hair grease. But now, time for clarity, time for courage, time for cut the nonsense. Mark Golden is not negotiating. He's performing, he's delaying, he's trying to strand the people in a ceremony while he rehearses colonial lines backstage. So, bro God, hear me now. Don't bow to buffoonery. Don't partner with sabotage. Don't wait on a man who's still quoting Norman Mandela like scripture. You already have the mandate. Yeah, you already have the mandate. You already have the rhythm. You already have the people. So work with them. Not with the man who thinks CCJ is a crown and referendum is a Roma. Yuma is king, so let's say it played. Mark Golding want direct talks. But every time him talk, the country lose signal. Him say authentic collaboration, but him allergic to clarity. Him say unfinished circle of independence, but him still drawing with British compass. So, bro, God, don't get caught in this circle. Draw the line. And to the watchers, if Mark Golding ever say him love Jamaica, ask him which part, Kingston or Kensington. Mark Golding thinks he got us stranded, but we got it. We got the rhythm, we got the recall, we got the resolve, and bro, God, you got the broom. So sweep clean, and don't let no colonial dust settle in the house again. This was a Skywalker no nonsense commentary. Thanks for watching.